Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here on Play on GAA with me, Seamus, Brady, your host. And for this video, I'm joined by Mayo journalist Chloe Lynch. And in this video, we are going to give a full preview and breakdown of the upcoming Mayo Football Final of 2022. Chloe, obviously massive Mayo fan yourself. What have you made of the Mayo Club Championship this season? The standard, compared to other seasons, where do you think the levels are?
Well, I tell you, it was a season of shockers. That's my main point. Two teams, if you had told me before they'd be getting to the final, I'd say absolutely no way. Westport and Ballina, two great sides, and the two deserving ones that made it to Sunday's final. They bet the big leagues in order to get there. And it'll be a great game come Sunday, and it'll probably be packed out McHale Park, and whoever wins the Mokler Cup has definitely deserved it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely right. I mean, Mayo, in my mind, have been kind of synonymous with your Castlebar Mitchels and teams like that coming through over the last few seasons. But obviously, this year's final pairing is Westport against Ballina Stephenites. Before we get into the full breakdown, please like, subscribe, share, and comment. Get involved in the discussion. Really helps us out here on the channel. So we're going to break it into two halves. We're going to go Westport first, then Ballina Stephenites second. We're going to get into a bit of a discussion about both sides, and then pick our winner. So we'll start with Westport because they got to the final in a lot more in a lot more of a dramatic way than Ballina Stephenites got there. I mean, the late goal from substitute Shane Scott. I mean, watching that was absolutely bizarre. I was saying on another podcast that it reminded me a lot of, do you remember that training drill where the coaches put up like a tiny square and you just have to put 10 hand passes together? The building up to the goal, it just reminded me of that. There were so many bodies in such a small area. How Shane Scott worked a shot, let alone stick it in the back of the net, past the Mayo goalkeeper like Rory Byrne. I mean, it was just outstanding.
Up to that point, say when Mitchell's got that goal, I can say it on behalf of everyone. Like, it was a boring game. Everyone was like getting ready to go home, getting everything packed up. And when Mitchell's got that goal after being down in points on the scoreboard for so long, you were getting my pick for this final was actually Ballina and Mitchell's. And here's me thinking I'm so happy I got the result right, but it was absolutely it was one of probably the most edge of your seat kind of final semi-finals. And Westport did brilliant. Shane Scott, that came out of absolutely nowhere. Within a minute after Mitchell's got that goal, Shane got it in the back of the net past Rory Byrne. And don't forget how great of a goalkeeper he is. And they did absolutely brilliant. Westport haven't won a final at all in their whole lifespan. And the Westport fans, watching them after the final whistle just showed how much it meant to them. And they've out of the two teams in this final, Westport have probably had the most rocky road to get there. You have the great county boys like Mark Bourne, Fionn McDonough, Lee Keegan, and you have the mix of county and look the lads that are hoping to get on that level. Westport just shocks the whole of McHale Park that day. Mitchell's fans were getting ready to go home thinking they won, and then all of a sudden Shane Scott got it in. But for this, so far, if you analyze all the football for Westport up to this point, they leave a lot of things last minute, right? Because you don't want to be doing that. That's my biggest worry for them on Sunday is leaving stuff last minute against a side like Ballina. They have the players, they did it. They got there. You have one more hurdle to jump, but they're gonna have a fight of their lives this Sunday.
Yeah, no, without doubt. And just to top off how impressive it was that Shane Scott got that shot off, the guy that he kind of wriggled the little bit of space off was Paddy Durkin. I mean, Paddy Durkin was standing in front of him, and you're thinking, all right, Durkin is going to take care of this. I mean, one of the best defenders in the country. Particularly, I know his probably his biggest strength is going forward, but he's an outstanding defender as well. But yeah, what strengths do you think now really Westport have going into this final? I think in a lot of people's eyes, they are going in as underdogs because they've had, a bit of a rockier road to the final. They're not as experienced in the final as a Ballina would be. What strengths do you think, what ways do you think that they can get at Ballina here? What are their kind of main strengths?
Like Martin Connolly has done a great job with those lads. They're well capable of getting the job done. Once they're around the attack, look, as I said, they leave stuff a bit to the last minute, right? But like against a side like Ballina, they have to be on the ball from the get go. The Westport County boys have been absolutely brilliant. Like Lee Keegan, the CV speaks for himself. Look, Rory Brickenden is finally getting a bit of glory. Mark Moore and Theo McDonough, and some of the lads that that might not make county. Oisin McLaughlin, Noel McLaughlin's brother, has been absolutely outstanding. One of the joint captains, like Niall McManamon. They have the players, and they just have to really go in with the right mindset. Realize look, they've been through war to get through this point. There's only one more match to go. Look, they're with that match with Castlebar. They were shocking. They were shocking everyone, being up. I think it was like 4-1 at some point, and we all know how the points count in big games, and sometimes you can't be all reliable on goals. But if they have it's a 50-50 kind of game for Sunday, because you have them great two sides like Westport. They have never gotten this far, and they want to bring it home. And if they're a side that can spring something at you at any moment, in my opinion, and that's what Ballina really need to be careful of. But it'll, even though they are the underdogs, we know in any GAA game anything can happen. And look, if they don't win, they'll be doing their little town proud and realizing momentum for next year that they can do it. But for me,
I want them to do it. I want Westport to do it. I'm just going to say that straight off the back, because Lee Keegan is probably one of my favorite players that I've ever seen playing the game. I think he's absolutely outstanding. I think in terms of a complete right half back, I think it's him and Jack McCaffrey. Maybe you could argue James McCarthy, Tomas O'Shea, but that I just was Lee Keegan is everything you would want in a right half back. He's unbelievable. And for him not to have a Celtic cross is a tragedy. I think I would love him to win a county title just as a bit of a reward for all the sacrifices that he's put in. Let's move then to Ballina Stephenites. And what you said about Westport starting slow, leaving it to the last minute, they're not going to get away with that against Ballina, because the way that Ballina put away Ballintubber in the other semi-final was clinical. They just put them away with not as much fuss as Westport had to make to get past Castlebar Mitchels. Yes, you could argue Castlebar Mitchels are a bit better than Ballintubber. Maybe it's harder competition. But once the Evan Regan score went in, once the Irwin goal went in, they never really looked back.
For the come half time for Ballina and Ballintubber, it was 1-5 to 6 points, and whoever's leading if you're leading but that much by half time, you're gonna have it in the bag. Ended 3-10, 1-13, and Ballintubber were just absolutely brutal. But one thing off topic a little bit that was being said, the way Ballintubber played showed how bad Brady were to the quarterfinals. And look, there was one time, one moment in the match, Diarmuid O'Connor made a massive slip up that led to one of the goals. And look, they're an absolutely phenomenal side, but Ballina are just that one bit. We're just that one bit better on the day. Say Pádraig O'Hora has been probably one of the most outstanding players throughout this whole club campaign. And you have the likes of Conor McStay, Jack Irwin, Frank Irwin, Sam Callanan. They have the right mix, if you get me, of players. And David Clark in goals, the CV speaks for itself. They've just been, the one thing you have to be worried about Ballina is when they get start getting their goals, because they crashed a few weeks ago. They crashed my club of more like 4-10, and it was game over by the second goal went in. And look, but the one thing is, they sometimes just make mistakes that shouldn't have been made. Like the little things that at the end of the day you're kicking yourself over. But Niall Heffernan has been an outstanding manager. So with those group of lads so far, and they haven't gotten to a final in 15 years. They will be as hungry as Westport, and as you said, they're the obvious favourites going in. And I've actually myself have been to a lot of Ballina games so far, and you have to see it for yourself. Like for every team, just see it for yourself, how they play and how they work. Like once they're on a break, like they're doing well to stop them, because like poor Cahora in defence, like that's a obstacle in itself. Like, and as you said, Evan Regan's getting some great limelight and well deserved, and it'll take a lot for Westport to beat them, but because like as I said, they've been the outstanding team so far. And the shocker of the team, once they bet Knockmore, it was like, oh sugar, these people are actually good contenders for this cup. And like that shocked the whole of Mayo, if I speak for everyone. And I just think again, same as I said with Westport, if they go in, they both just go in with the right mindset, and like no doubt we'll have a great game of football Sunday.
And what do you think of the key battles? Like, for me, it's who Power Gahora picks up. I think one of that, like, that's a massive matchup. Whoever they put him on, if they even put him on anyone, they might play him as a spare defender. They might play him bombing forward. But if he does pick up someone for Westport, if he picks up a Fionn McDonough and Mark Moran, like that matchup could be absolutely crucial if he picks up one of their danger men. The same on the other side, then who do Westport put on Frank Irwin? Who do they put on Evan Regan? They're the key matchups for me.
Like it'll be interesting to see who Niall and Martin pick for everyone to go at each other. Like even in particular for the Ballintubber game, like for Cahora, it was like when he was playing, it was like he had a big massive like target on his back, because everyone was going at him, everyone was following him, hair was getting pulled, and he's like I'd say the main target for Westport is Cork. I'd love to see them be squared up with Lee Keegan again, because there was one match last year, they're in the centre of excellence, and even though they're great county boys, when it comes to club, that's the first thing that matters. But it's another strategic plan that has to be perfected for whoever wins this. Like you have like the likes of Frank Irwin go up against, say, Brian O'Malley. Just looking at the programme here in front of me, Conor McStay, Fionn McDonough, like you never know. But like whoever, as I said, like the managers have to have it strategically planned, because two great sides that have battled to the core to get to this final, and it'll be interesting, because two great sides with brilliant players, and we, even though we disencourage it, we love good scrap on the field whenever it comes to a good final, and it'll be very interesting to see come Sunday.
Yeah, right. So what it's been building up to, prediction time.
Oh, my heart and my head say something else, right? You get used to it being a Mayo fan. So I'd love to see Westport just shock everyone. The 15-year wait, just to get to this final. And as I said before, Mitchells were getting ready to get the champagne out, and Westport got that goal. I'd love to see them do it just to shock everyone. And they are capable, as I said. It's like on the point stated, like they have the players, and Martin Conley and the team have done great, but like the big difference is, as we've mentioned before, Ballina have kind of had it easier. than Westport, and like they only got tested a little bit against Ballintubber a few weeks ago, and you know Westport will be their first test, but like you know, as I said, my head just says Ballina because all the matches coming up to this game, you know, they've just been dominant from the start, and like you know, to have bet Knockmore going for 3 in a row, like you know, no one could do that for 2 years. That was the massive shocker of the whole county, and you know, it put people on the put people on notice, and that's the you know, that was one of the big eye openers for everyone. They have the youth, they have the experience, so sorry Westport, now I have to go for Ballina.
Yeah, I'm gonna tag on to that story, but I would absolutely love it if Westport won. Just they have, you know, a few of my favorite players. I think Phil McDonough is another one of my kind of low key favorite players. Like, I think he's very exciting to watch. He's very adventurous. Like, and he can kick the ball over from an outrageous distance out. And Keegan, obviously, I mentioned earlier, like complete right half back. I'd love to see him pick up a championship medal. Like, that would be outstanding. But I am just gonna go Ballina. I think that Westport are gonna start slow again, and I think they won't get away with it this time. Like they ran their luck so close to being ran out against Castlebar Mitchels. Like, if that shot's 1 inch higher, it's over the bar. Like, and they're not in this position. So, yeah, I'm gonna go Ballina by not much. I'm gonna go Ballina by about 4 points, I'd say.
Yeah, like it'll obviously be a neck and neck. But you know, as I said, this is kind of a match where points really matter. And you know, say you get free, you're going for goal, you have to kind of go for points because you know, as I said, 2 great teams and they're well capable. Each of them are bringing the Mokia Cup home, but we finally agree on a result. So Ballina for the win.
Yeah. All right. So Ballina is play on GAA and Chloe Lynch's pick to win the Mayo Championship 2022. Thank you for sitting and enjoying the preview with us. We hope you did enjoy it. And until the next one, guys, take care.